Yo, it's your man with the plan, Mark Solars here to talk about Atelier Ryza 2. I just finished this game pretty much an hour ago, and it's still fresh in my mind, and I just kind of really want to talk about it, because this was a lot of fun. This game was a lot of fun. And right out the gate, I gotta say, visually, how much of a big step up is from the previous game. Granted, I played the previous game on handheld on Switch, but even without like the handheld Switch, even watching videos of like the previous game on like the PS4, it looks amazing compared to the previous one. And that's like a big trend with this game. I feel like almost everything is better than the previous one in every way, because as much as I like the previous one, I do gotta say that I felt like they had some big problems in the previous one that I feel like they're still there a little bit, but they're not big problems anymore. They're more of little problems, and it was a lot of fun going through the game, I gotta say, and that because it just felt like everything was ironed out. The battle system was so creative. Like, honestly, like, if any, one day I hope this game blows up, just because the battle system is so cool that I wish other game companies and other developers really use this battle system, because I love what it was. It's a little hectic for some people, but I really think it's a step in the right direction if you want to go like action turn based. And I just felt like everything in this game is just, oh my god, I don't know how to give praises to this. I gotta say that my number one favorite thing in this game has to be the battle system. The battle system is like this combo turn based. It's like like how Final Fantasy, the old ones, had the wait time. It's like a wait time, combo based, like the usual item based gameplay, and everything is chained together so smoothly, and you can chain characters' combos together and just build damage on top of damage on top of damage, and just do backflips and stuff. And I feel like everything in this game is so polished. It's just, oh my god, I don't know how to give praises to this game enough. The story, I gotta say, for this game is it's Atelier. If you like this first Atelier Ryza's story, it's very similar to that. It's okay, I gotta say. It's not like it's gonna anything to bring home to mama or talk to mama about. But the one thing I do like is the character on character interactions, because, as I like to say, these characters that we previously know, like Ryza, Tal, Lent, and Claudia, they're all grown up. Like, they're not in their 18, 17 anymore. They're like all in their 20s and like early 20s, and it's just really cool to just listen to them talk. And the writers, like I say, they didn't do it deep. Like, it wasn't very deep topics, but the writers were really good this time around, like making our adult characters feel like adult characters and have adult problems. Ryza had a problem with rent, and she's trying to find rent the first part of the game. Claudia is trying to balance her job with spending time with friends, because she knows her job's going to like take over her life one day. And they have Lent trying to figure out his purpose. Tal's trying to figure out what he wants to do after he's done with school. And a lot of those messages really hit with me personally at my age that I'm recording this video. And it just seemed like when it came to character and character interactions, it felt like they were very natural for it, even though they're very light, because Atelier is a very light story, so it wasn't like it was like deep or anything, like I said before. But I felt like the character on character interactions were just I just felt them. I don't know, I just felt them. And I rarely feel that with adult characters in video games. Normally it's all in the younger generation, or the the college kids, the non-working kids, like the very young people. It's very rare like they do people who are a little bit older than that, and it just felt natural. And the characters they added on felt just as good. Patricia, I can't tell how old she is. I think she's probably like just out of her main level of education. I think everybody's an adult in this game. Then Patricia is just like out of high school or whatever they have in this game. She seems like she's around like 18, 19. Then you got Clifford, and who's, I don't know, I think he might be like old. I don't know. And then we have Serri, and the cast seemed like it was very well rounded this time around. I mean, it's the same, half of the same cast, but I feel like the little extra little bits to their lives really added to it, because originally you just had all these kids doing whatever the heck they wanted during the summer break, and it actually felt like they had a lot more to do and a lot more regular life. And Bose was really cool in this game. I really like him now. For a character that at first I didn't really think much of, this game really turned my opinion around on Bose. And it almost felt like they did want to put, I always say Lila, and Empel as a playable character, but they were just like, we don't want to make the story any more longer, because they were there for like a lot of the main parts of the story, but they were cool. They were really cool. As it has to go for like the design of the game, everything about the game was good, but I do gotta say this is the roughest spot for me. It was the design of the game, like how things kind of worked, and how the difficulty worked and everything. So the first thing I really want to talk about is the Alchemy System. It's really good. It's improved. I feel like they could have improved it a little bit more, because I felt like sometimes I would have not enough material to do what I want, but the game wouldn't really like tell me that. So it's like, I felt like it would have been nice if you can like go off to a different screen and kind of make the thing that you need to put into your item, because I feel like I have to undo everything I just did. I could have spent like 10 minutes trying to build up an item, and then I'd be like, I just need one more of these things, so I have to unbuild it, get all the items out, get all the little stat increases out, and then I have to like go make the other item or find it, and then I have to go through that again, and then I build it up again. I do that, I can confirm, and then something else comes up, and it keeps on doing that back and forth. And I feel like there's times where I just kind of wish I just can make a little bit extra of an item without having undo all this analysis I just did to make this item all good and powerful. I felt like that actually annoyed me a little bit when it came to the Alchemy System. Everything else was smooth. I didn't even get to try like everything with the Alchemy, because there was just so much you can do. It was just so much. I would say like a nice 1/3 of my majority of my playtime was in the Alchemy System. So just keep that in mind. Now going to the battle, like the problem I had with the difficulty or the design of the difficulty in the battles. So I played on hard mode for the majority of the game. So up until halfway point where you'll know, because the battle music will change. That's the key. Or no, yeah. I think about the time when the battle music changed, the game will change. And I feel like I put it on hard mode, and I have a decent challenge, and then sometimes I get knocked out, sometimes I didn't. Then I hit this halfway point where you get everybody, and the battle music changes. And then after that, and that boss before that felt like it was ridiculously hard. And I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. And then I hit the first forest, or the first area. It was the first area? Yeah, the first area. There's so many locations. I'm like, okay, the first area I hit after that boss, and I felt like I was just not, like, enemies were just hitting me so hard, so I made the difficulty go down, and I felt like, okay, this is acceptable. I got new armor, and that stuff helped a lot, but they still were hitting really hard on hard mode for a second there, and I was fine until then. So I hit the next area, and I leveled up a little bit, so it did help. So I switched back to hard mode at the very end there, because I leveled up a good amount. And that next boss was really easy on hard, like compared to the last one I had on hard, and I had very similar equipment. I just had slightly different like defensive items. And I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck was that? Like the difficulty just kind of went back to where it was before. And then I went to the next boss, the next area, and the area, like the first enemy almost just wiped me out, like by itself. I was like, what the heck was this? What happened here? So the enemy, so I had to make the difficulty go down to normal, like permanently for the rest of the playthrough for a second there. Well, I think that I said second there, but I said, yeah, I did for the rest of the playthrough. Was there a second I did turn it to hard? No, we get to that. So turn it to normal for the rest of the playthrough for the most part. And you know, it was manageable after that. I still got like the best gear at the time for at that part. And then I went a little bit farther down until like the very last dungeon. The very last dungeon was so ridiculous at first, where I had to turn it down to easy. It was so ridiculous that the common enemies, even on easy, was still kicking my butt. And I was like, where is this difficulty coming from? So I was like, okay, let me get the best weapons for at least 2 or 3 of my characters. The best weapons and armor. So that's what I did. So I got it, and they were still kind of kicking my butt. So I was like, it's whatever. You know, I got it to the point where if you get high enough level, the enemies run away from you. So then, no spoilers here, the final boss. I got to the final boss, and I mollywopped him because I changed it up to normal because all these enemies were kicking my butt still on easy, but I still wanted a challenge for the final boss, and I steamrolled him. And I felt like I went on the whole tangent because I felt like the whole game after the middle point was like the difficulty went woo, 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 woo. I didn't even know how to keep up with it, changing my difficulty, because I felt like there was times where it didn't matter my difficulty. It still was kind of hard, and there's other times where I felt like after this hard spot, it just went flatline to make it easy on some of some parts that, you know, it felt like it was uneven at, you know. But other than that part, that was like my biggest concern with the game. They felt like there was balancing issues here and there, especially in like how everything worked. I think I talked about the battle system a little bit more, but I gotta say one thing, like the visuals for the battle system, I gotta say they're the coolest ever. My favorite character in this game is Patricia, or Patty, depending on who you ask. And Patty is such a cool character. Oh my god, her design is cool as heck. Her combat style is one of the coolest video game character combat styles visually I've ever seen. Like, you just gotta see. Patricia has like a cool kit. Like, everything about her is cool. And honestly, like, I don't know. I've never seen movements as cool as Patricia's in combat. And everything visually, especially at nighttime, like during the daytime looks good, but during nighttime everything looks beautiful in this game. And so having Patricia go crazy at nighttime, it was just ridiculous. I loved it so much. Music, that's the next thing I want to talk about. The music, oh my god. I might pause the video for a second and play a piece of the music, maybe not, or just have it in the background. You'll know in a second. But I gotta say, like, the second battle theme for this game is like literally my favorite thing ever. It's so good that it's actually at the current moment making this video, it's my intro to my videos, like a part of the song. You can hear it, if you ever go back to my intro or you click another video, oh, it's so good. Also like the first battle theme. The first battle theme is really good too. So is the boss theme. I think all the music in this game has been good. Like, they're all bangers. I rarely say that. Like, I rarely think that every song in a game is a banger, but every song in this game is a banger. Every song I think I can remember the tune for. And it was so good. It was really good. Like, the music is astounding. I know they're trying to make, I think they're planning to make a third one of these, or at least a third one in the saga. I don't know if it's going to be Atelier Ryza, or it's going to be like, a different alchemist that she's teaching, and it might be somebody else, Atelier, somebody else, how they usually do Atelier games if you don't know. But I'm really excited for that. I don't know, I know they can improve a lot from this game, but I don't know what they can do to the battle system, because it's so creative. I don't really know what they can do to the battle system, make it even more like if they make it any more crazy, it's going to overwhelm people, I think. But I don't know what they can do to make it pop more. Or are they just going to add more movesets, or they're going to make you have like movesets, like in combat movesets, and like I don't know what they're going to do. I'm really excited to see. I know it's probably not going to be that far off. They're really good at Ryza, the Atelier series has always been one step behind in generation and graphics. So Atelier Ryza, that the PlayStation 5's out, is pretty much like a PlayStation 4 game now. So expect it around that same type of thing. They're just how they go. It's kind of like how like NIS and the Cold Steel and Yeast games, they're not the best at keeping up with it, and it's probably because it's cheaper too. But yeah, the voice acting was good. I gotta say, everybody was good. Clifford I didn't talk about Clifford because I don't really use him that much, and he wasn't my kind of character, but his voice actor kind of made me like his character a lot. I don't want to forget about him because I know to me he was okay. He was okay character, but everything else was great about him. But I can't really think of anything else I really want to talk about this game. I really love this game. This is like one of probably my top games because of just how fun it was. It pretty much kept me entertained all the way through, and I really suggest anybody who really likes relaxing games, like if you like grinding in, what's a game that's out at the current moment to date this video a little bit? I guess Genshin. If you like grinding in Genshin, if you like grinding, or you like, you know, menu management, and you like really flashy, cool, like action time battles. And it pretty much covers all the basic bases of like a complicated RPG. There's a lot of deep mechanics, especially once you get halfway through the game. Halfway through the game is literally like the point where everything opens up. But yeah, it's been a really great experience. I hope you guys pick up this game. This game deserves it, in my opinion. It's an acquired taste, but I think this one's a lot more easy to get into than the previous game. Oh, and also when I talked about censorship in my previous video, because I talked about that. The censorship in this game, I don't think there's any at all. I know I made that fear in my last video, but that was way before this even came out. So keep in mind, this is when everybody was freaking out about censorship. But this game, at least this one, is safe from censorship on the PlayStation. So it's beautiful on PlayStation. You can get it on the PC. You can get it on the Switch. The Switch, I heard the loading times are a little ridiculous. And so, well, I heard it's okay. I heard it's actually better than most. But, you know, I still recommend to get on PlayStation or PC. But if you feel like getting on Switch, it's really a comfortable game. So that's another reason I get it on there. But other than that, it's been a really good experience. You know, hit me with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Just make sure you guys are watching and make sure you get this game. It's a really good game. And take care of yourselves. And make sure you guys have a damn good one. I hope.